Shorty bad like an Instagram model. Shorty from the city, she a hustler, she a baller. Forever girl, I got you on my ride full throttle. I know that she gon' ride cause she answer when I call her. And we don't do the media. Girl, I love it when I see ya. All these hoes wanna be ya. You got me hot just like a fever.
Hey kings and queens, welcome back. It's your girl T, better known as Tanya, better known as T. Okay, anyways, as you guys can see, this is kind of a serious video, and I am doing this video because I feel like not enough people talk about this, especially when it happens to you as a teenager. So I may giggle here and there, and I'm not making light of the situation or laughing, but sometimes that is just a way of me coping. Yes, this has happened to me years ago, but it still is triggering. Like, this to me, I feel, never goes away. But anyways, so let's get into the little story, to the backstory. I met this guy through mutual friends. We have mutual friends. I'm gonna call him Black. Black was 14 and I was 15. I was older than him by a few months or whatever. So anyways, we met through mutual friends and everything was cool. Like, Black and I clicked like almost immediately, and before we knew it, we were a thing, you know, we were the couple or whatever. So everything was good, and I start noticing like little things, but being young, you think it's cute because he was like really jealous. He didn't want me talking to like certain people, and I knew a lot of people. He wasn't originally from my area, but I had knew a lot of people and stuff like that, and he kind of like would like not want me to talk to like guys and stuff like that. He was just like say little things, and I was like, oh boy, like whatever, you know, thinking it's cute or whatever, because we was kids. For one, no one is thinking that someone is serious. Anyways, so yeah, that was one thing. And then the second red flag I probably would know now as an adult is he like would play mind games, like just do things that make me feel bad or make me sad or something, and then come around and save the day pretty much. So he called one day, one night on a school night, and he was like, I think we should break up because I'm gonna go back with my ex-girlfriend. So I'm like, huh? I'm like devastated, like what oh, okay, you know. And I boo-hoo a little bit when I got the phone, but at that time, even though I cared and I was a little bit like shocked and hurt a little bit, I was kind of at that time like, okay, we'll keep it pushing. Even though I was sad, get to school the next morning, first person I see in the hallway is Black. So I kind of think that he was waiting on me, because he was like where I was when I come in to school. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry about last night. I shouldn't have said that. I don't know what the problem was. You know, I'm sorry. You mad? I'm like, He was like, well, we back together. And I just said, okay. I just said, okay, instead of like, no, boy. But I was like, okay. So I was more mad about being late for class and having to go to ISS than I was mad about him doing that or whatever. So anyways, time goes on, and now it's like summertime. So we have been together probably like 6-7 months now. So his birthday's in June, my birthday's in July. So we're now on what, 15 and 16. And everybody know we're together. He's always at my house. He rode the bus to my house after school. On the weekends, I was at his house. You know, his parents loved me. We were like, you know, cool like that. I would just stay at their house all the time on weekends, and my family knew him. Matter of fact, some of my family is probably gonna be watching this. If my sisters are watching this, they're probably gonna catch on later on about who I'm talking about, if you guys already haven't. But try to get my notes. But yeah, so we was all cool and all that stuff, and then one day we was at his parents' house. This was the very first time he actually like put his hands on me. We was at his parents' house, and we had gotten into a little argument or something, because when we stayed at his parents' house, they had like made their garage into like a, you know, like another room. It had living room stuff in there and all that, and that's where we hung out most of the time, in there. So we had got into an argument, and then he just grabbed me like by my throat and was like telling me to shut the F up. He would F me up. When he say something, like basically like just be quiet. Like he didn't want me talking back or saying nothing, which that was always a problem for me, not to say something. It still is. But yeah, that was the first time, and I was like hitting him like, you gotta get the F off of me, boy. Like, you know, because back then I wasn't fighting, I was quick to fight. But he was like, Black was like 6'2" or something. Like, he wasn't a big guy, but he was, you know, a nice sized guy. But he was tall, and I probably was smaller than I am now. And but yeah, I would like fight him like, get off me, like, boy, you don't wash your day and go mind, what the hell wrong with you, or whatever. And of course he apologized for that, so it will never happen again. He don't know what happened and all this and that. So that was that. A little bit of time go on, it was just more like verbal now. Like, he would just say stuff to try to make me like feel bad, and then he want to come and baby me up and all this. Sorry, I had to take a second. So yeah, then some time had went on or whatever. Like I said, it was just a lot of verbal, you know, him running up on me, like trying to put fear in me or whatever, like making me think he might do something, but he wouldn't do anything. So the second time that he actually put his hands on me was, we was at my cousin's house, and I hung at my cousin's house quite a bit. She was a little bit older than me. She had her own place, and we used to all hang over there, her boyfriend and, you know, some of my other friends. But he and I had gotten into some type of argument. We had gotten some type of argument, and I think everyone else was outside, and he just grabbed me up by my hair and my throat, and it was like, just like had me against the wall, like, I don't know, like had me against the wall, and was like yelling and stuff in my face. So I'm still like, you know, get off me, you know, saying stuff, whatever. So then he's like, oh, you think I'm playing? I will kill you, and all this other stuff. And he drags me outside, because she lived on the second floor. He drags me outside, and like I said, he was taller than me, he was bigger than me, and like threw me, not like threw me because I didn't go over, but he like lifted me up some kind of way really fast, but he had me by my ankles and was hanging me over the balcony, like. And so I'm like screaming like, oh my God, stop, why are you doing this? Like, I'm trying to like holler for help and stuff like that, but I'm also trying to stay still at the same time, because I didn't want him to drop me, you know. I didn't know what 2 stories were going to do to me, falling on my head, if it was going to kill me, you know, break my neck and make me paralyzed or whatever. But anyways, so my cousin boyfriend and the other guy that was with us come running and pull me up, and they're like, man, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you doing that? And all this. And he like just chuckled. He chuckled and walked off. And they're just like, man, you be wilding or whatever. But yeah, so of course I was mad, and I ain't talked to him for a while, and then he came around. And even some of the people that we hung around with, like the guys, they were just like, oh, he was just tripping, he was just wilding or whatever. So yeah, I took him back, and we just went on like nothing happened, and it was still kind of the same thing, just a lot of verbal, a lot of, you know, just saying mean things. I don't know if he ever really called me. I mean, he's called me on my name. I don't know if he ever really, like, he never say like I was ugly or nothing like that. He just say mean things. He just say mean things, and but then he will always say sweet things too. I don't know why this is making me a little anxious. I don't know if because now people, my family gonna know, or what. So I need to put my glasses on, guys, because I made some little notes to try to get me through this. And I'm doing this because I feel like someone out there needs to hear this. Some young girl is probably going through this and don't know what to do. So if you need to talk to someone, go tell your parents. Like, do not be scared or embarrassed like I was. Go talk to someone that you can trust, and that's not gonna like make you feel bad for what happened to you or what is happening to you. So yeah, so now by this time, he used to do like just random things here and there out the blue. We could just be sitting here chilling, talking like now, and this one time he took a match and lit the bottom of my foot. I didn't know, because I'm just sitting, he's laying in the bed. We're at my cousin's house again, and he's just laying in the bed, and I just felt this burning sensation. I'm like, ow, what the is that? And he's laughing, and he's holding up the match, and he burned the bottom of my foot. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like, that hurt so bad. It's like, why would you do that? He's like, cause I didn't want to see how long it's gonna take for you to feel it and what it would do. So let me turn this off. So yeah, that was one thing he did, just randomly out the blue. And then another thing he did was he cut me. He cut me on my arm. The scar has been removed because I had arm surgery. So when they removed all the skin, they took the scar. But yeah, we were just laying there once again, just chilling, I thought. And he was like, had this little pocket knife thingy. And he was like, I wonder what it feel like to like cut something or cut someone. And me, I'm still not even paying him any attention on that level, because I didn't think he was going to do anything to me. I thought he was just talking. And the next thing I know, he just, and I'm screaming like, oh my God, what you do that? It wasn't like a real long cut, but it was long enough, you know? It was long enough, and it was bleeding. And he was like, I just want to see what it was going to feel like. I didn't know it was going to do that. I just wanted to see what it was going to feel like, you know, to cut something or someone. I didn't know it was going to do that. But he wasn't saying it like in a, oh my gosh type of way. It was just like, I didn't know it was going to do that. I just wanted to see, you know, what was going to happen. So he just went and got like, you know, rags and stuff and put pressure on and cleaned it up, put band-aids. Like basically just baby me, fix me up, because he wounded me and now he want to be the nice guy. Anyways, I just let that go. We just went on about our day and our business, and I think I even made a joke about it to like one of my cousins to try to, I don't know if that was like a coping mechanism or something, but I kind of made a joke about like, this boy cut me, y'all, like, oh my God, like he's so stupid or something. I don't know, I just remember being like so gullible and thought he loved me. It's like my first love, my first real relationship. Mind you, you know, I was a virgin and everything when I got with him. So yeah, so basically by this time we're like, some time goes by and I'm basically like living at the house. It's summertime, so I'm basically like just living living there like all the time over there, and they live like, his parents live like an hour, a little over an hour from where I'm from. And a lot of stuff would go down over there. I remember one time we got into it, and I ran upstairs like crying. He had threw a shoe, because I don't remember what the argument was about. I never really know what the argument was about. It just be about he just being his ways, I guess. No matter what I said, it was something. So I remember he was like, I told you to shut the F up. And he threw the shoe so hard, y'all, it hit me dead in this eye. This eye, to be exact. In this eye. And I instantly got a cut and swelled up. Cut my eyelid, and my eye instantly swelled up. And I remember running upstairs, and his mom was in the kitchen cooking, and I was crying. I was telling her, like, I want to go home, and I don't want to do this, do this with him anymore. He's always mean to me. And she's like, oh my gosh, like, she fussed at him, like, you don't do that, why you do that, and you need to apologize. And she's telling me, like, he's sorry, he don't mean that, he loves you, so you're all he talk about, he's so much better when you're around, and all this. So instead of me catching on to her saying he's so much better when I'm around, I don't know what I was thinking. But now I'm thinking back, like, what the hell he was doing when I wasn't around. Was he going in on y'all, and y'all want me there so I could take the heat? Like, I don't know. So yeah, so that happened. I was like, I want to go home. Blah, blah. I didn't. A couple days went by. I think they was kind of let my eye go down a little bit before they took me home, because I guess maybe they didn't want people asking me questions or whatever. So yeah, I went home for a few days or whatever. I don't remember if anyone asked me questions or whatnot. And I'm sure if they did, I made up some crazy ass lie to cover up for it. But anyways, I go back to where he lived at, and now some time has been going by. I go back to where he's lived at, and our friend he met through me. I believe he met him through me. We're gonna call him Snake. So Snake started hanging around a lot and staying up there or whatever. Now Black's parents were gone. They had another home in another state, so they will be back and forth from that home to where they lived at here. So Black will be home a lot by himself. He had an older sister, but she always was at her boyfriend's house. So we basically always had a house to ourselves. So Snake started staying there a lot, and him and Snake would like run the street and be going out all times, hours or whatever, doing only God knows what. I don't know. But one time we had gotten to it, and I think it was about him always being gone, like running the street or whatever. And he jumped on me. He started throwing me around, roughing me up, slapping me. One thing I can say, he's like never like punched me, but he was rough me up and like, slap me and stuff like that. And then I remember him taking me upstairs, and he's throwing all my stuff into black trash bags, and like calling me like, you stupid B, you get the F out of here, you get the F out of my house, and I don't want to see you no more, F you, and all this other stuff. And it was raining. I mean, it was raining. So he threw my stuff in black bags and put them out on the porch. I was like, call someone to come get you. And thank God, and I had an aunt, and my cousins lived in that town or city. And I called my cousin to come get me, and I was sitting on the porch. At that time, back then, I used to smoke. Don't even pick the habit up. Don't even do it. So I was just sitting on the porch smoking, like, what the fuck is going on? And Snake came out. Snake was always like a little comfort. He would kind of like push him back, like break us up, like break us up or whatever. But he would never like really, really like get into it. But he would like take him off from me or whatever. And he would be like, why are you putting up with this? That dude is crazy. Like, why you deal with him? And all this other stuff. Like, just I guess, being comforting. And he would just sit and wait with me whenever I got kicked out. So this time my cousin, anyways, my cousin came and got me, of course. Some days went by, he's calling, begging me to come back, crying, he's sorry, just going through a lot. I don't know what the hell you going through at that age. I mean, you live at your parents' house, and I don't know. But so yeah, he calls me, he tells him and begging me to come back. And of course, I grab my little black bags and I go back. And so yeah, so I go back, and then of course it's always good for a couple of days, and then he goes off again, and I can't even remember. I'm gonna never probably remember why. But anyways, he goes off again. So me and my cousin came up with a story to say that I was pregnant, so that he wouldn't, you know, hit me. Instead of just leaving or us talking about how the hell to get away from him, we came up with a story that I was pregnant. And I think the reason why she kind of went with it, because I think she was going through something herself. Probably not to my extent, but, you know, just BS. So yeah, I told him and his parents that I was pregnant, and they was all happy and excited. And yes, all the stuff stopped. He was all sweet and just doing the most. And it went on for 5 months, y'all. I even picked up a little bit of weight, had a little belly. Yeah, so, and I would go home, like during the time for my period, I would go home, because by now I'm staying with them even doing school. He done quit school, so I'm still staying with him doing school, because his mom she worked in the city I went to school, which, like I said, was like an hour away. So I would just ride back with her when she got off work. So yeah, that went on 5 months, and I was getting crazy, because I'm like, how in the hell, what I'm gonna do, because I'm not pregnant. And I damn sure was not trying to get pregnant for real. Like, I knew I wasn't that dumb to try to get pregnant for real. So they was going on vacation. Well, actually, they was going to the state that their other house was at, but they was going to go stay for a while. You know, it was like, I think it was like doing some type of holiday or whatever, and they had wanted me to go, but I was like, no, I want to be with my family. I'm gonna stay with my family or whatever. But that was my opportunity to have a miscarriage, and that's exactly what I did. About 3 days into them being gone, I called and said I had a miscarriage. And you know, they was like, oh my gosh, they was so like upset and distraught or whatever. Do they come back? I was like, no, it's fine with my family, I'm just resting, you know. So we moved on. We had that. They came back. He was still cool a little bit after that, and I guess that was him like letting me recoup from whatever of losing the baby. And I think I told him it was a boy, because I was hoping that I don't know what the fuck I was hoping. Sorry for all the F-bombs, y'all, but this is, when I'm thinking about stuff, this is crazy. So let me recording. Yeah. So so after that, yes, he was like, come walk with me. No. After that, when the baby thing happened and some time went on, we got into it again. We, got into a fight or whatever, and I left and I went back home. And then he had begged me to come back. And then he was like, one day just like, oh, come walk with me, because they stayed in a pretty nice neighborhood. So we had walked to like another neighborhood that more like on the hoodish side or whatever. And we go to this apartment, but he told me to stay like on the curb, and then the girls come out. So I'm like, this is weird. First I thought he was like, I was gonna have to fight them or something like that. But it wasn't. He was just talking to them. And the one girl was just like looking at me, like checking me out, like up and down or whatever. So I'm like, this just don't feel right. Like something is off. So anyways, he comes on. We go back and we walk in. And I'm like, what the hell is this about? Why you have me walk down here so you can come talk to some girls? He was like, oh, it's nothing. She got a little thing for me, but you know, it's nothing. It's cool. What? You had me walk down here to some girl house that got a thing for you? Like, he's like, yeah, it's cool, you know, as long as you acting right, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Like, manipulating shit. Like, you trying to throw this girl in my face, that you got another girl running down behind you that you was really messing with, to make me feel like, oh God, let me get my shit together because I might lose him. No, I'm not thinking like that. I'm thinking like, this MFO is crazy. Like, you want to fight me, don't want me talking to nobody and doing nothing, but you want to do stuff like this. But that's what he would do. He would do stuff, you know, hit me, you know, go off of me, slam me down, slam me against walls and stuff like that, and then take me shopping. Like, I know his parents gave him money, and then he used to work odd jobs and stuff like that, because he ended up quitting school, so he ended up start working like full time or whatever. So yeah, so we get back to the house and I'm just like, I don't know why I was so bothered by that, but I was. So we go home. I was like, I think I'm gonna go home for a while. Sorry, y'all, my my camera died. So anyway, so I go back home for a while, and it's like summertime, and I think it's like the next summer or something like that. And we're all back in my hometown, and my cousin by now had moved to another place. She moved back to our hometown, and we was all hanging over her house, just out in the neighborhood. Everybody's, because I had a lot of family that lived in that neighborhood, and we was all out. And you know how you have cousins and people that give underage children drinks and stuff. So we were all out drinking, summertime, just having fun or whatever. And he's like drinking a lot, so I'm telling him to slow down because, you know, he was getting a little rowdy, and all this stuff. And he's fussing me like, you don't tell me what the fuck to do. I drink how much I want to drink. You don't tell me what to do and all this other stuff. And I was like, I'm just trying to tell you because, bruh, heat and alcohol don't mix. Like, you won't be sick, and then in the back of my head, I know you won't be acting stupid, and I ain't got time for it. Pretty much. So then somehow we end up in the house, and he's like, oh, I want to go lay down. And I'm like, I don't want to lay down. I'm chilling. Like, I'm going back outside or whatever. He's like, no, I want to lay down. You need to come lay the fuck down with me and all this other stuff. So he's like drunk. So then one of my guy cousins come in. This guy cousin is not even about that life, y'all. He's like him. He like to put his hands on women or whatever. So in my head still, I didn't think that you was going to let somebody else do it to your cousin. But anyways, I'm telling him I don't want to lay down. So he gets mad and he grabs me by my throat. That was his go-to. He grabbed me by my throat and he slapped me and he threw me out of the room. We was in the room. He threw me out of the room into the hallway. I hit the wall, boom, so hard that it pretty much knocked the wind out of me, and I remember sliding down to the ground. And I'm like bawling because I knew the shits was about to start. I was bawling. I look over at my cousin. He's sitting in the living room down the hall. And he's like looking, and I'm like reaching out, like telling him like, get him or whatever. And he's just sitting there looking like, oh, here we go, or something like that. Like, didn't even really budge, because I think he was low-key scared of him too, because like I said, a black was you know, tall dude and a stocky or whatever. So he comes out the room. He's like grabbing me up off the ground. He's like, you know, hitting me against the wall. Like, when I tell you to do something, you do it, and da da da. And I don't know what you calling him for, because he ain't gonna do shit and all this other stuff. So my cousin just said something like man, chill out or whatever. But it still wasn't like nothing that a cousin should do. Like my other cousins, my other guy cousins, if I would have told them, like two I know in particular would have been on his ass or whatever. But you know, I really didn't say anything. I didn't protect, you know, try to protect him. I guess that's what it was. So anyways, I'm like crying, I'm bawling. So I go in the room, we go to lay down, and my cousin, the one that is her house, she comes in, and I'm like crying or whatever. And then I remember that I had my cousin's gun, the one of the guys I knew would have went off on him, because I used to hold his gun for him. So I remember I had his gun in the room. So by now, Black is like asleep. I'm still laying on the bed bawling, and I get the gun, and I don't know what it was. I guess the good Lord sent my cousin back to the door, because we didn't close the room door, and she was just looking, and I was standing over the bed with the gun over him, like crying, like, I'm gonna kill him, I can't do this, I can't take it, I'm over this, I can't take it. I'm like crying, and she was like, no cousin, no cousin. And she just take off running, because my mama was down the street at one of my other cousin's house, and I don't know how fast they was running. I don't even know how much time went by. I don't know how long I was standing there saying this. Like, I don't know if I just like blacked out. I remember saying it and crying and stuff like that, but I don't remember like time wise. I don't remember how long it was, but I do remember my mom coming in, and she's like pushing my hand down, and she's like saying my name. She's like, no, Tanya, it's not worth it, it's not worth it, and putting my hand down and taking the gun. But I'm so glad, because my mama is so about that life, y'all. But I think she was more concerned about me, and she probably was kind of shocked to see me in that state, because like I said, I was a fighter. Like, you know, I was not scared. You know. So I remember them taking me out the room, and my mom saying some stuff to him. I don't remember exactly what she was saying to him, but anyways, he ended up leaving. But I remember the thing she was saying wasn't nice. But like I said, I don't think she really popped off, because she was probably more concerned about what was going on with me. And yeah, so like a week went by. He started calling, begging and pleading, you know, had his mom and them talk to me and all this other stuff. And the girl went back. I went back. Yeah, I went back. So Snake was there. Like I said, Snake was staying there a lot. And him and Snake had, I guess they said they had a job. I don't know. I think they were just out whoring or whatever at night and telling me they was going to work. I really, at that time, I really didn't give a shit. I was just glad they was out of my space, out of my way, you know. Even though Snake was nice, me and him was cool, whatever. And so one night they come back, and he's like, he's kind of in a little pissy way or whatever, but he was like, can you go fix something to eat? Fix me something to eat. And he told me what he wanted was like his favorite thing was like sausage and corn or something like that. So I was like, yeah. So I'll go upstairs and I go cook the food. He goes to sleep. I come back and I'm waking him up. I'm like, Black, your food is ready. This jumps up, and I mean, he slapped me deaf. He slapped the hearing out of my ass. I went flipping. I flipped like 2 times, y'all. This is no exaggeration. I remember he hit me because I was kind of like squat down because he was on the sofa. But when he hit me, I like flipped over like 2 times, and it was a fan. I knocked the fan over, and I hit the other sofa. And I just got like on my knees. I got set up on my knees. I remember I was like dazed. I knew I was crying because I felt the wetness on my hand, but I couldn't even feel my face. My ear was ringing, and I'm just looking up at him, and he's like, don't effing wake me up, you effing B. Why the F would you wake me up? Will you see me sleeping? Da, da, da. And in my head, I'm like, you said to fix you something to eat, to cook for you. You know, it's just like, I'm not saying this out loud. At least I don't think I was. I remember saying it in my head, but I'm just looking at him like, and my face being numb, lip, everything, ear ringing, and I'm just looking at him like, I think he just deaf me, and I'm just like something had just left my body, and I just knew that was it. I just knew that was it. So I go outside, grab my cigarettes, I go outside, and I'm sitting outside and I'm smoking. Snake come out there and said a couple words, And I didn't even talk to him. Like, I didn't even say anything. I was just like on mute. Usually I would talk back, try to figure out what the hell was going on. But in me, I knew that was it. I knew that I don't know why this is making me upset. But I knew that if I didn't let that situation go for real, either he was going to really do something to hurt me, or I was going to do something to hurt him, because I was already had that mindset when I had a gun that I was really going to kill him, because I was like, this is not going to end, you know. Only way it's going to end is I'm going to have to kill him, you know. So I was kind of back in that mindset, and I knew I needed to go, but I knew I couldn't do it while he was there. So I called my sister, and she had her boyfriend and her kid's father at the time had a truck, and she's probably going to remember this if she sees this. I called her and I was like, I need you to come get me, but don't come until after this time. And it was dark, so I knew she knew something wasn't right, because she came and got me at night. And yeah, so she came later that night, and I them same black bags. I might not be the same black bag, but they were black trash bags. I stuffed as much stuff of mine as I could in there. And when she came and backed in the driveway, I think I told her to back in. I was like, when you come, just back in the driveway. And I just threw what I could in the back of the truck, and I jumped in, and we left. And I think she probably, I don't think she really even asked. I think she probably asked like, was I okay or something like that, but I don't think she ever really asked, you know, what happened or whatever. So yeah, I left, and that was it for me. I knew no matter what, I wasn't going back. He was going to have to kill me, or I was going to have to kill him, or whatever the case that was going, whatever was going to happen. But I just knew I wasn't going to go back. And so when he found out I was gone, when he came, I guess the next morning when he came in, because evidently he didn't come back that night, he was calling like, where you at, B? Where the fuck you at? And where's all your shit? You better bring your ass back. You better have your ass back here by this time. And I was like, balls, girl. I grew some balls. I was like, Negro, I'm not coming no damn where. I'm not going nowhere. You can say what you want. I'm done with you. Don't call me no more. Leave me alone. I don't care. He's like, oh, you think this is a game? You think I'm playing? You belong to me. I'm coming to get you. And he literally was in the car, got in the car to come to get me. He's like, I'm on my way. I'm coming to get you. Like back then, cell phones weren't popping. That might tell my age a little bit. Wasn't popping like that. But we had house phones galore. Like everybody had a house phone. You call one house. Like my family we always kind of stay close to each other. So you call one person, and everybody had like the cordless phones. And so he was like, I'm coming down there, and I'm coming to get you, and He was on his way. God is good. God worked in mysterious ways, because he got pulled over on his way to get me, evidently speeding or whatever, and he had weed in the car. Now back then weed was a little bit more, you know, you get in trouble for it more back then than now. And he went to jail. He went to jail. So that is what saved me from him coming, because I wasn't gonna go back. If he would have came down there, I knew I wasn't gonna go back. Like we was gonna be fighting, and I already had it in my mind, like if he come here, I'm screaming, yelling, I'm telling my whole family, like I'm just gonna be going off, like, or whatever. So yeah, he got pulled, and then he called, I think my cousin. They told my cousin had told me, but I was like, I don't care, you know, we don't go together no more. And so some time had went by. He called my cousin again from jail, and she accepted his call, and she gave me the phone, and he was like talking to me like, oh, when he get out, we're gonna work things out, we're gonna get back together. I'm like, no, we not. And then the thing about it, y'all, I started dating Snake. I started talking to Snake, and then I should have known because Snake tried it. He tried to put his hand on me one time, and I was like, oh no, we good. You try to be like your boy, but this ain't the same girl, bruh. This ain't the same girl. So, but yeah, so he called and he was like, we're gonna get back together. And I was like, no, I'm with Snake now. He's like, oh, you fucking whore, you bitch, and all this other stuff, like going in on me. And I'm like, okay. And so he's like, let me speak to Snake. So he gets on the phone with Snake. He's like, oh, you still my boy. She's just a whore. I should have known that. Don't worry about it. See, that should have been a red flag for Snake ass, that he wasn't gonna be no better than him, because why you sit here and let him talk about your new person you supposed to be talking to like that? You ain't trying to like, boy, don't talk to her like that, or nah, she not like that. Like, you just sitting there like kind of like, boy, you a fool. I should have known better. But me and Snake only talked about 6 months, and then he did that. He tried that at a club, tried to put his hands on me, and that was a wrap for that. But anyways, that is basically my story. Some years later, Black did show back up in my life. I had done moved on. I had my son, my oldest son, and my uncle never knew about it. May he rest in peace. He's gonna pass away now. My uncle never knew about the situation, and as far as everybody knew, like, he was a cool guy. Like, he got along with my family. Everybody, you know, he was cool. Like, my mama never even mentioned that situation. My cousin, like, it's just like nobody talked about it or whatever. That it happened, and I guess my mama thought everything was cool because I went back. She probably just thought like it was just a mishap or whatever. But it was my uncle. He went to my uncle's house because he remember where he lived, and my uncle told him where I lived at. And he come knocking on the door, and I was like, who the hell's knocking on my door? So I peeked through the peephole. Y'all, when I seen his face through the peephole, like, I was shook. But I was like, honey, I'm grown now with a child. If you think you gotta come here and do something, you gonna be leaving here in a body bag. And I'm not saying it to be funny. I was dead serious because I didn't know what he was there for. But I knew I had a child, and he wasn't gonna be. And now I'm like, he already know where I live, so I need to just go nip this in the head, you know. So I opened the door, and he was just like, oh hey, like trying to be like nothing happened. And he did actually tell me that he don't remember that doing that stuff to me. Yeah. But anyways, I was like, yeah, bruh, we don't want you, we don't need you. I don't know why you're looking for me, but yeah, anyways, that was my story of my domestic violence from the time I was like 15 to 18, a little over 18. Ladies, young ladies, teenage girls, even boys. There's boys and men that go through crazy stuff. Y'all know y'all worth. Don't let nobody put their hands on you. Don't let nobody call you out your name. Don't let nobody make you feel less than. Like, all jokes aside, like, just telling some of this stuff. Okay guys, I'm back. What I was trying to say was, talking about all this has brought up so many raw emotions in me that I didn't know was still there behind that situation. I never really talked about it to anyone. I haven't had counseling before. I've done counseling, but I never brought that up in counseling. Yeah, it made me think about how I've treated old relationships, current relationships, how I treated people. Like, just made me think about like, wow, you know, it's an eye opener. So if you already been through something like this, it's good to talk about it. And if you're going through something right now similar to this, just talk to someone, tell someone. I know it's hard, it's scary, it's embarrassing, but do it. Like, let someone know what is going on with you. Alright, so like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video, guys. If it helped only one person, I am good with that. Alright, see you guys in the next video. Stay blessed. Bye.